Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and tonight we're going to talk about if I'm too hard on PlayStation. How you doing?
Mom needs batteries.
Mom needs batteries. She couldn't need batteries 5 seconds ago. Here. All right. Sorry, guys. So, am I too hard on PlayStation? And do you think I'm unfair when it comes to my coverage of PlayStation? Is basically the question I get a lot when I post my videos about PlayStation. Sorry guys, I'm setting up the live chat. Oh yeah, so this has kind of been bugging me all day since I posted that video, and I kind of wanted to talk about it because I've always been a PlayStation fan, but when I see them doubling down on okay, so yeah, what's worked has worked for PlayStation for a long time. So it would make sense for them to double down on things, on things that they normally do, like the way they make their first party games. But the whole beginning of this generation, Sony comes out and they say, we believe in generations. They say that, even though Microsoft on the other side has taken a lot of heat for saying, yeah, we're gonna still support cross gen, for a couple of years. And we're gonna focus on, enhancing backwards compatibility and all kind of, like, all the effort and all the stuff that Microsoft put into making the Xbox brand better. Everybody gave them crap for that, but the whole time everybody was cheering PlayStation on. Oh yeah. And then 6 months, almost 7 months later, PlayStation comes out. Oh yeah, we're still gonna make games for, PlayStation 4. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. There's such a double standard when it comes to anything, and the hypocrites are out in full force. I see them in my comments a lot. That's why that's why I made that video today, and that's why I'm going live with this, because I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on PlayStation over the years since the first generation of PlayStation. I didn't really give Xbox a chance until last generation. And now, moving forward, it's become more and more like PlayStation's scared this time for sure. Xbox is a real contender at this point now. Does PlayStation double down on their 4K 30, or do they, I think about this because I was playing Watch Dogs Legion tonight, before I decided to go live. And I'm looking at that game running at 60 frames a second now. And it still looks good. It still looks good. And now it's even better because it's running at 60 frames a second. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, gosh, PlayStation, do you really think you should continuously? Yeah, Soulstar, I feel like I'm fair. Like, I admit I do not call Microsoft or Xbox out enough on this channel. That's fair. Like, I get that. But Microsoft didn't make me unrealistic plan or promises about, leading the generation with true next gen exclusives. Microsoft put everything out on the line and said, look, this is what we're doing and this is how we're going to move forward. And me personally, like, as a gamer, I was like, yeah, dude, that makes sense. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're going to keep doing it that way. And then PlayStation comes out and says, oh, yeah, no, we believe in generations. We're moving forward full steam. We're going to do this. And then come to find out, every single game that all of us PlayStation people were expecting to be next gen only games are coming to PlayStation 4. Yeah. Xbox has definitely made a lot of strides since the beginning of the Xbox One generation. They have, with Game Pass. There really is no better value in gaming. And Sony guys, you guys can say all day until you're blue in the face that 4K 30 is the future, but I don't know. Like, I don't see it that way anymore. After seeing like games that I love playing running at 60 frames a second, like there's no justification for, you know, like there's a lot you can do visually at 30 frames a second, like no doubt. There's a lot. And these PlayStation games are going to definitely start looking a lot better than they've ever have before. But I mean, yeah, exactly. That's exactly where we're at with 4K 30 is we are definitely, yeah. I mean, Microsoft is smart, you know, backlog. You're making a good point. You know, if we're hitting a point of diminishing returns, I remember when I was playing Resident Evil 2 back in the day. And you know, like the videos, you know, like the CGI, you know, videos that they would do. I remember telling myself back then, whoa, man, if video games look like that, it'd be great. And now they're 100 times better than that. And we are hitting a point of diminishing returns. And the only way to really go is performance from here. Yeah, exactly. Quick resume, VR, auto HD. Yeah, Microsoft came out. Yeah, they're not buzzwords. They're actually freaking things that add up to an experience that makes Xbox Series X a true next generation machine. Microsoft was smart and thought about it. Subsev, they put different technologies, you know, in the Xbox. Some of them aren't even going to be used, you know, for at least a couple of years. But I mean, Fidelity FX, PlayStation will be able to use that as well. But if they're not going to go out and yes, exactly. That's the way I looked at it, you know, that and the key. That's the way I looked at it, was performance was going to be key next generation, because I already thought last generation games looked good. I mean, didn't you guys already think that last generation games looked good? I thought they were great. And then, you know, now with performance, I'm telling you guys, right after I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla at 60 frames a second, that changed me. That changed me forever in what I expect out of a game. Like, I mean, even playing Watch Dogs Legion now at 60 frames a second is good. Everybody here, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. We need to keep building this channel. I'm not hard on Sony to like bring them down. I'm hard on Sony because I want them to do better. I want them to. Sony first party studios are freaking amazing at making graphics, are they not, guys? They're great. They're amazing. Why can't we have Spider-Man level visuals throughout the generation at 60 frames a second, guys? Like, I made a video about Ratchet and Clank today, you know, looking like it was at least half resolution from what they've been showing us recently with the 60 frames a second. I don't think that's that far off. I think 1440p sounds about right for 60 frames a second on that, and, you know, upscaled from 1080p for the ray trace. Like, I feel like that's pretty fair. I mean, that game does have, you know, pretty high fidelity in the visuals. Yeah, 60 FPS is definitely a game changer. It has already transformed so many of the experiences that I have been playing on console that, you know, like I'm happy. I'm happy with it. And I'm happy with the visuals, the way the visuals look at the 60 frames a second. The threshold with the 60 frames a second and the oh my freaking gosh, now I'm and the visual presentation. I am happy with how it's looking, and I would like them to target 60 frames this generation at a minimum. You know, I mean, at a minimum, especially for open world games. You know, let's target 60 frames and then build upon that. You know, build out better technologies to take advantage. I mean, we haven't even seen Nanite. We haven't even seen Lumina or Lumen in the in any of our games yet. Like, I wonder how that is going to affect. I wonder how that is going to affect performance. You know, I mean, I want to see basically high performance, you know, higher performance, at least 60 frames a second when it comes to like open world games, driving, stuff like that. And I do want to see higher fidelity visuals and stuff, but not at the cost of 60 frames a second. without ray tracing, at least in Rift Apart. So they said that the Insomniac said it's basically going to be like the Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I just don't see that being the case. If you look at like Nefarious City and stuff, and all the other and all the videos that they've shown up till then, man, those visuals are pretty freaking high. They're high fidelity. That game looks like it's really high fidelity. And I mean, they already said that even the 4K mode is being upscaled to 4K. So I'm thinking 60 frames a second with 1440p, upscaled to look even better would probably, I think that's where we're going to be. Yeah, I think Fidelity FX might be a key for AMD was showing Doom Eternal running at max setting. Yeah, I did see that. I am. I think that we might actually see I'm wondering if they're going to do something with Gears 5 to add that Fidelity FX to it to see what more they could do with that, because that's kind of been their poster child for this new technology for the Xbox Series X as we've went forward. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that. I mean, we'll definitely find out Saturday for sure what they're going to do. Sunday. Saturday is Ubisoft, Gearbox, and Devolver. So I'm definitely going to try to cover all of these shows the best I can. I still don't know exactly how to host them on my YouTube channel. I'm still trying to figure that out. So bear with me, guys. Saturday rolls around and I can't figure it out. But I will at least. Oh no! I mean, if I go live while they're there and I don't have anything on there, then it's kind of pointless. So, I feel like, I mean, I see it in my comments all the time. A lot of people kind of upset, telling me that I'm not, being fair to Sony and stuff. Man, I've given Sony thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, man. I've been more than fair to Sony. Because I want to see, them push themselves at 60 frames a second and still deliver a high visual quality, where I know that Xbox is going to deliver, a 60 frames a second, minimum performance, and we're still going to get pretty good. You look at Gears 5, last generation, that thing looks good at 60 frames a second. I'm more than satisfied with that. I don't need really crisp, shuddery visuals, to tell me something's next gen. I want to see performance this time. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. And, I mean, if the other guys are doing it, the PlayStation, yeah, the PlayStation fanboy support group is Mondays, though, Soulstar. So I'll need you to be there. Maybe you can be a, gosh, what do they call them now? I got to remember. They're you're gosh dang it. You could be one of the people to help the new guys when they come in, their sponsor or something. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to start doing the fanboy support group, especially when they start putting them games on PC day one. Yep, we're definitely going to have to be doing that 3 days a week. So if I mean, I don't want to be like, I don't want to always have to be complaining about Sony, but if they're going to keep doing 4K 30, I'm going to probably keep complaining. Like, it's just me. I want to see performance, and I don't want to see. Okay, so here's my thing with Ratchet and Clank. Okay, this is why it gets to me, and this is what I'm starting to think. I want the 60 frames per second mode to have as much development as the 30 frames per second mode. So if they're building it out for 4K 30 and then just downscaling it until they can get it to a stable 60 frames a second, I don't know. I feel like it's tearing them. I feel like it's kind of hurting resources. That's why I just kind of wish that all developers would just put 60 frames a second as the bare minimum and then work toward a better visual experience over the generation. every time Sony does this, it just splits the generation. If you're a PlayStation guy, I mean, you have to be honest with yourself, because last generation with PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, the only games that really looked amazing on PlayStation 4 Pro were Sony first party and the games that Sony had secured like exclusivity with, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. That looked pretty good, but yeah, I'm pretty sure both of those are going to come to PC. Yeah, it'd be pretty safe to say that it'd be pretty safe to say that starting probably next year, the end of next year, games are going to start launching day and date on PC along with PlayStation 5. I could almost guarantee that's probably going to happen. The sooner Sony rips the Band-Aid off, the much better everything's going to be. There's that 3%, 3 to 5% of like the fanboys that get really hyped about this stuff, and then they don't understand that there's guys like me that represent far more of the share of PlayStation users than they do. I mean, they're louder, they're far louder than I am, and they probably will continue to be far louder than I am. But at the end of the day, it's just me. Like I'm a regular person. I play video games, I buy them, I spend my money, and like I like to support the developers. I like to be able to give them I get hot, guys. My hair's like not staying where it's supposed to. I like to be able to support the developers I like and get better content and help the industry grow. Like I want to be there, and I want to be able to see cool things when they come out. I want to be able to experience these games as they're made. I don't always want to have to like be negative about PlayStation, but gosh dang, dude, 4K 30 is last generation. Xbox One X was doing 4K 30. I don't really care how pretty your 4K 30 is. 30 frames per second is just, maybe it's me, maybe it's because I'm getting older and it's just a lot harder for my eyes to adjust to 30 frames a second. Like I don't know. I mean, I've noticed that since the start of this generation, and since I've been playing, more games at 60 frames a second, it is extremely hard to go back to playing them games at 30 frames a second. What Microsoft lacks in first-party exclusives right now, they are more than making up for in support. Now that's true. FPS boost alone is, yeah. And when we get another 75 titles on Sunday, the Backlog Vault. The reason why that's so important to me is because I buy all my games digital now. I don't even try to buy discs anymore. I don't even care. And the fact that Microsoft is making so many more of my games better just by upgrading the hardware, that's amazing. Like I cannot thank them enough. I mean, for every one of those games they FPS boost or resolution boost or add what was it, auto HDR, that's like an effect that like the developer would have remastered and then just gave us for another $20 or $40 or whatever. They're doing that for free. So in essence, every time they upgrade a game, that's saving us money. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, when Xbox is more likely to continue enhancing our experiences as we go forward. I feel 100%. I'm at least 100% confident in Microsoft, to buy digital games from them, because I feel like I'll always have something, like they'll always do something to make that experience better. And now that they've really realized that, hey, that's a selling point. People really like that. I'm pretty sure it's only going to get better, and it's going to continue to grow, and they're going to continue to open up the library of games that will be able to play on it. Yeah, I mean, Xbox first party games, like I've said before, I've never really been I've never really been like, oh yeah, Xbox first party, I mean, I've always been more of the PlayStation guy, because PlayStation came out first. I've always been a PlayStation guy. You know, I love PlayStation developers, but I am starting to care more about Xbox first party than I ever would have before. I didn't even start liking Halo till about Halo Reach. I didn't really I didn't really used to I didn't really like first person shooters, but as they've gotten, you know, better, and I've started to care more about Halo. I'm actually kind of excited for the new Halo Infinite just because of the more open ended of it. And I think that's reminiscent of like the first game. It was more open. Yeah, Halo was definitely pretty hard. Halo Reach was cool. I played that with my kids. That's why I think that one stuck with me a lot more. It was easier to get into that and play it with my kids, my teenage boys. Yeah, yeah. So basically, Xbox is going to retake the crown of the Western RPG console. That's pretty safe to say. Now that they've got Bethesda, Oblivion, Arcane, you know, like they're what was that other one? Yeah, I mean, we're going to see some pretty good stuff. Yeah, and you know what, Jet? Honestly, that Halo Infinite, when they showed it, I was actually okay with that. The way it looked, I didn't have any real problems with the way it looked, except for the dude's hair, you know, in the picture, you know, like the popping and stuff. That was kind of like, oh gosh, can we please get rid of that? But I knew it was coming for cross gen, so I mean, I was already thinking Halo Master Chief was looking pretty freaking clean. I mean, everything was looking like I was actually pretty happy with the way a lot of that looked. I don't know, man. Like people just freaking out about it, and I wanted to play it. But I'm glad they actually did take a whole nother year to work on that to deliver something a little better. But I have over 100 great games. Only one is, yeah, exactly, man. I've been ever since I think it was like 2015. I started buying all digital last generation. Every game that I had that was on disc, I traded in and just bought digital versions of them. Good Halo game. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Halo, as long as it's functionable and playable, and as long as the online multiplayer is good, they're set. That's the only part that I think they really need to get right is that. For me, I want the story because I don't really play the multiplayer shooter games all that often. I do, but not to the point where it's like a daily grind for me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we expected for next gen because if you look at it now, Spider-Man doesn't really look next gen. It just looks like a prettier PS4 game. You know, the same can be said for Demon Souls. Yeah, Demon Souls looks good, but is that really next gen good? I mean, Xbox was already doing 4K 30, and now PlayStation 5 is doing a 4K 30. So is it really to the point where anything that could be played on the last gen console is considered next gen? I just don't understand that. Like there's an artistic value to the way Halo Infinite was looking. And me personally, like I was okay with it. I thought it looked good, but I mean, it was new. And I mean, I'm seeing Halo looking better than I've ever seen Halo look before. And I'm like, ooh, man, that looks good. You know, with the big open world and stuff. Anytime I see a big open world, I kind of know right then and there to like temper my expectations on visuals because I know they're not going to be super mind blowing. So right when I see a big open world or big open spaces, I automatically adjust. Like it's easier. I automatically adjust my expectations to be like, okay, let's look at this from a different perspective. Advanced physics engine. Yeah, this cross-gen phase, I like the Halo Infinite demo gameplay. The graphics just need, yeah, exactly. They just need a little touch up, you know, and they probably could have done that. Co-op split screen and advanced physics ending, you can't expect it to look graphic. Yeah, if it's going to have an open world, you can't. Yeah, I did see Horizon gameplay. Did you see how? I mean, you saw how big the first map was of the first Horizon, you know, Forbidden Dawn. You saw how big that map was, right, Jet? The and with that being cross-gen, I can't see them being able to make the map really any bigger for the new Horizon game without completely tanking the last gen version of that. So it's going to be a little bit harder for that to I feel like it's going to be pretty I think it's going to be pretty close size-wise. Oh yes, Horizons. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. I'm definitely excited for Forza Horizon 5 and 2 Horizons this year, possibly. That would be amazing. It's raining? Nice. All right. Oh. It's raining outside. That summer rain in the desert looks great. Horizon looks good, but even that doesn't look. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really look next gen. It just looks 4K. It just looks higher fidelity 4K at 30 frames per second. But I am still excited for it, like you, Jet. I'm still excited for it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna enjoy it, even if it's 30. I don't know. I mean, if the graphics take a really major hit, well, I don't think that's gonna happen though. Because they're coming out and showing their best foot, right? This game's still got to work on PS4 and PS4 Pro. So I'm thinking that, I mean, it's going to be toned down a little. It'll probably be 4K 30, like native 4K 30 with checkerboarding to make it look even better. And then checkerboard 4K at 60 frames a second. I feel like they should be able to at least deliver that. It's supposed to have they did say it's going to have a 60 FPS mode for sure. It will have a 60 FPS mode. I'm hoping that it's checkerboard 4K at 60 frames per second though, then not like 1440p or something like that. I'm hoping that it'll at least match what Spider-Man Miles Morales and the remastered Spider-Man can do when it comes to because that one there was 4K native with and they checkerboarded on that to make it look even better. And then it was checkerboard 4K, which checkerboard 4K on Horizon Zero Dawn to give us our 60 frames per second. I would be happy with that. Yeah, dude, I'm so over the 1440p stuff too, man. Like, that's why I want these guys to just, use the techniques to get us way past that. I would really appreciate that, especially in the future. I don't know if I can consider 4K 30 next gen anymore. Like, I just don't. It needs to be better. Yeah. So that Horizon Zero Dawn was designed around 30 frames a second. So when it went to PC, it did have trouble hitting that, but I'm pretty sure they figured that out now. It was always designed for 30 frames, so they would get that weird frame pacing when they would try to go above that. But I think I'm pretty sure they patched it. I don't have it on PC. I'm pretty sure they patched it and made it better. So hopefully that tech went into the. I would be more comfortable seeing if they would give us a PS5 patch for Horizon Zero Dawn to make it 60 frames per second. Yeah, I mean, I like the 4K. I do admit that I am more. I do like the resolution as much as I like the resolution a lot. So if they can keep that high, but I also do want more fidelity, but not at the cost of. I don't know. I mean, like when we see some of them new games come out that are actually using nanite and stuff like that, if they're 1440p at 60 frames a second, and that density makes it look good enough, I think that might actually be okay. I think we'll probably be okay with that. But as it sits right now, anything that's cross-gen, I want 4K. Like, it has to be. The PlayStation 5 is, what, almost 2.5 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. And the Xbox Series X is, and this is not taking the new technologies, it's at least 2 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. And if Xbox One X was doing 4K 30, I'm pretty sure we should be able to get anything that would run on last gen at 4K 60 now. Yeah, I would really love a 60 FPS patch for Zero Dawn, but I don't know if we're going to get that. Yeah, I hope we don't lose a lot of that fidelity either. That's why I was saying when I saw that post that they put on Twitter today, to me it looked like it was about half resolution from what they've been showing us lately. And so that would put it at 1440p because it looks about half resolution. And the checkerboard did make it look, I mean, not checkerboard, the compression made it look a little fuzzy. Fidelity mode at 45 FPS. That's how I played Village. That's probably what I'll use. Oh, you played Village at 40 on the PS5. It didn't always hit the 45 frames a second on that, Pat. It was in that lake area to where it would drop those frames. I mean, on Series X, I ran through that. It was pretty good. I didn't really notice a lot of frame drops or anything. Village on PC was amazing. Yeah, Village was, oh my gosh, that game was so freaking beautiful. Still no VRR and expandable storage on PS5. Oh man, that is really starting to get on my nerves. Good thing Ratchet and Clank was only 33 gigabytes, right? I didn't even really have to delete anything. I just put that on there. Yeah, I was able to download that today. Starting today, I think they're letting that be downloaded. So if you guys pre-ordered Ratchet and Clank, go ahead and start downloading now. Yeah, it should. I know that they said the PS5 is capable of the Fidelity FX, and they said that it's pretty easy to implement. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see some results for. I just don't know if Sony first party are going to use Fidelity FX. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure third party developers will use it, but I don't know if Sony first party are going to do it. They said that Horizon will have fidelity at 45 frames per second. Really? I'm going to have to look that up. Really? It should. Yeah, same as Village. Huh. All right, well, I'll have to check that out then. If they do have a 45 FPS. Yeah, I mean, 45S would probably be a little better than 30. I was hoping the next gen would have deleted the different modes. Like, oh, yeah, you're right. Get rid of that stupid both modes and just... That's kind of what I was hoping too, Sergio, was if we could at least get, games to start being built around 60 frames a second and then move out with the visuals from there. I was more than happy with that because I really am getting sick of cutscenes look weird. No, cutscenes for me at 60 frames a second look way better. So when you first start the Spider-Man Remastered in 60 frames a second and you watch that whole cutscene, at 30 frames a second, it looks like everything's like skipping along like real fast. But on the 60, it's just a nice smooth camera pan across all of that. So I like that. I think the 60 looks a lot better on a lot of things lately. Yeah. Probably the next 2 years, games may have one mode. Yeah, I'm hoping so. I really hope they just go straight up to... I really hope they just go straight to 60 FPS and move from there. I think Sony first-party developers are good enough to be able to stick their hand out there in the ring and hit 60 frames a second and push the medium forward. Don't you guys? I feel like they're good enough and they get enough praise for their 4K 30. They should be able to easily slide into the top spot at 60 frames a second. What do you guys think? I think easily should be able to slide into that 60 frames and still retain their beauty crown. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of easy if you put out the hardware, for it, and you're a developer with the hardware knowledge and stuff. But then what would they do with all that research and development they put into the really? They couldn't tell the difference? I don't understand it. Look, yeah, dude. I yeah, there's definitely a difference between 30 and 60 for sure. I guess most people. Okay, so if you're playing like a Ubisoft 30 frames a second, and you're in an open world and you're running, like, I mean, yeah, no, I could tell right off the bat that Assassin's Creed Valhalla was way better at 60 frames a second. Yeah, that 4K 60 for like next gen high fidelity visuals is probably going to be hard. That's for sure. But anything that is cross gen should be able to do a native 4K 60. I would think, anyways. Yeah, exactly. If you start playing at 30 frames a second, Pat, and then go to 60, it's more noticeable. But it's more noticeable if you go from playing 60 first and then play 30 frames right after. Then it's definitely far more jarring. Yeah, it does take a minute to get used to that 30 frames a second. If I start playing anything in the day, if I'm going to play a 30 FPS game, I have to start playing that first. Yeah, I mean, like my coverage, might PC after playing at 30 on PS4, and what a difference. Yeah. Now that yeah, exactly. If they can use those techniques to give us an image that looks good in 4K. So my biggest thing with the whole 4K thing is a 1080p image doesn't look good on my 4K TV. It looks fuzzy and stretched and blurry, and like 1440p is about where it starts to look okay. So, I mean, 1440p looks okay, but 4K, or closer to 4K is definitely my preference. Even 1800p looks fine. Exactly. 1080p looks disgusting on a TV. It looks like crap. It looks horrible. And 900p is even worse than that. Gosh dang, it's so hard to look at old Xbox games that weren't enhanced. I'm not gonna lie, man. Those things are not very pretty. The only games that actually hold up all right on a 4K TV at lower resolutions are cel shaded. I have a Vizio. I have the Vizio M series. My P series upscales a little bit better than this M series does because it's got a better processor in it. But I mean, not much. I mean, when I'm playing my games on my P series, grading from an LG B7 to the LC C1 this fall. Can't wait. Yeah, I've been looking into getting one of those. Gosh dang it, one of those OLED TVs too. Now that they're getting a lot better with the whole burn-in thing, definitely looking at into getting that. You know what the funny thing is though? When I bought that PlayStation 4 Pro and I first got my first 4K TV, and I hooked that up, and the upscaling in that made everything look like it was water painted if you got up close to it. I use Best Buy to come to the house and dial it in. Honestly, bro, everything looks amazing. Yeah. How much did you pay for that CX though? Like $3,000? As long as you don't watch CNN, you won't get burning. Dude, I don't watch CNN. I don't even watch the news anymore. Them fear mongers just out there creating fear and hate and everything, man. I don't watch that garbage. I could be wrong. Yeah, I was looking at those Sonys and the LGs when I bought this Vizio. $2,500. Yeah, $3,000. Do you live in the States and have Verizon? If you live in the States and you have Verizon service, you can add gosh, what the heck is that? Assuron insurance, $25 for your whole house to your bill. Because Best Buy does cover burn-in. Yeah. Yeah, 3,000. What size did you get? A 65-inch for 3,000 or smaller? I mean, my only thing, honestly, Pat, is I bought a Philips. Gosh, no, yeah, it was a Philips. My first 4K TV is 65-inch. I paid $2,500 for that TV, and it burned out after like almost 3 years. Oh, just close to 3 years, it burned out. Like it just quit working. So I was pretty irritated with that. So when I went and bought these Vizios, and I noticed they were way better quality for a fraction of that price, I was like, yeah, that's a steal. You know, I mean, I get Dolby Vision, I get HDR10 and HDR10 Plus right out of the box with these Vizios, and they're like a fraction of the price. My 55-inch cost me like $500. If I have to replace that every year or every couple of years, $500 is a lot better than $2,500. And then $500 for insurance. Ooh, man, that sounds pretty steep. Yeah, I mean it'd be cheaper because I only need a 55-inch, so I'm probably looking, just over 17. I'll probably get. I'm gonna really look this November during Black Friday and stuff. Yeah, dude, $3,000 for a TV. I mean, like like when I first bought that other TV, I was freaking irritated that I paid so much. Yeah, $1,000 for that Sony. Yeah, that's. I think that 900H, or I think it was like a 900 series that I was looking at when I was looking at this Vizio, and I noticed like because the Vizio has the same QLED technology that Samsung TVs have for like a fraction of the price. So I was like, yeah, I might as well get that. And then when I get it home and I do the when I stream the LG the LG little picture thing, that they show you that they have set up like Best Buy and stuff. Like it looks just that good sitting in the dark. The blacks are really black. The colors are really bright, and I get way more nit brightness on this TV with full array local dimming than you do on that CX. I think those are like 600 nits. They top out at 600 to 800 nits, and mine's like 1,300 or something. Or maybe it's not as bright. I don't know. I know that the full array local dimming gives you more brightness for your HDR for the bright on the brightness. Yes, I'll definitely be playing Final Fantasy VII Intergrade when it comes out. I wish they would let me pre-download it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I can or not. I'm gonna have to check that when I'm done with the stream. I'm gonna check and see if I can download that. Yes, I'm pretty hyped about it. I want to see exactly what they did to the visuals on this game. Like I am pretty hyped about that actually. I'm really looking forward to that. That door texture. They actually put a new texture on that door. What about all the muddy textures, like when you're walking through the little alleys and stuff? All the garbage piles and stuff that were just like bland textures. Yeah, there's a lot of games dropping next week. Yeah, that what is that? Thursday we get Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy, it's Thursday. I can't believe that's already here. And then in like at the end of E3, then Final Fantasy 7 will be coming to Game Pass, right? Ooh, I was thinking about getting that Ninja Gaiden collection, but I already have them on the Xbox. Like I have a couple of them on the Xbox, and I don't know. I haven't played them in so long that I don't know. I don't know if I'd play it. It'd be just one of those things I bought to add to my collection, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I upload the save data from the PS4 version. I need to get on there and make sure all that's done. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about the save data. I'm just going to play through a whole brand new playthrough. I mean, it was only like 25 hours to get through that, or 30 hours or something. I don't remember. It wasn't that long though. It was like I got it done in a weekend, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I was kind of rushing it because I was playing it on the weekend. I didn't know how long it was going to be, so I kind of am looking forward to a full brand new save to play that. Oh yeah, Scarlet Nexus drops this month too. Yeah, I'm buying that one on Xbox. I think I already got a pre-order for the Xbox Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, there's a lot of games coming out, man. I'm gonna try to review as many of them as I can. I probably, seeing as we're getting like new games, I probably will review the upgrades for the PlayStation 5 version of Final Fantasy 7. Definitely going to review Scarlet Nexus. I'm definitely going to review Ratchet and Clank. And then whatever else gets announced and dropped. The Medium's coming to PS5. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. It gave me that Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, but that Silent Hill kind of play. It was good. You're gonna like it. If you like Silent Hill, you're probably gonna like it. Summertime seems like the sweet. Yeah, exactly. Drop all these games right now. Yeah, the Medium was good, man. It was. I mean, there's definitely some things that they could work on, but I mean, it was pretty good game. I was able to sit through that game the whole way through. That's how I know it's a good game. If it keeps my interest and I can get all the way through it and not jump on the Microsoft store and want to buy more games, then I know it's a good game. That's how I usually rate them too. If I'm off onto the Microsoft store, yeah, I'm so happy. We finally get games to play. The drought is finally over. I don't know if I'd really consider it a horror game, Pat. It is. I mean, I don't know if I would consider it a horror game as more as I would consider it a psychological thriller. Like it's E3 2 coming. Yes, we're definitely getting ready for that. I would say it's more of a psychological. I mean, yeah, it does. I don't really think it, because it wasn't exactly like super scary. It was just more like, ooh, yeah. I mean, because you're a medium, I mean, you're a medium, so you're used to that type of thing, as you're playing. So I don't. Yeah, I mean, it might be scary for some people, but I'm a Resident Evil veteran, so I don't know if maybe it was just. Yeah, that's what I was going to do, as a live reaction to E3. I was hoping to do. I need to figure out how to set that up because I'm still kind of new to YouTube, so I need to figure out how to get it set up and do the live reaction with it. But yeah, I want to do that for every show that's on the weekend. Everything during the week I won't be able to do because I work a real job. So yeah, it's kind of hard to. I can't really just take days off to do YouTube. Just play through it, man. I used to kind of be like that when I would play horror games. Like I would play them a little bit, like on the edge of my seat, and then I was like, "Ooh, gosh," I'd get to a safe spot, and then I'd quit playing, and then I would go back like a little while later and try to play a little more when I get the courage up. But just, you can always run. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Horror games have lately. I don't think the medium was supposed to be scary though. Yeah, I brought headphones. Yeah, yeah. I mean that does add to the immersion when you're playing like a horror game. I was wearing headphones for the medium. I was wearing headphones for Resident Evil Village. I didn't really think Resident Evil Village was scary at all. Yeah, yeah, I didn't think that was scary even a little bit. Yeah, I think that the scariest game I played in a while was probably dude, that Resident Evil 7 was kind of freaky though. That Resident Evil 7 was definitely more scary than Resident Evil 8. That one was kind of freaky. Like when he busts through that wall, I was like, "Whoa!" Yeah, I my Xbox has the Dolby Vision, so or Dolby Atmos, so it sounded pretty good on that as well. I haven't. I'm gonna buy those 3D. I'm gonna buy those headphones for the PlayStation 5 eventually, and maybe check out Resident Evil Village on that too. I just haven't bought them. I was gonna try to use my Xbox headset for that, but it wouldn't work. If we're going to get a refresh for these systems, I'm thinking PlayStation 5 is going to go first with the PlayStation 5 Pro. I feel like they're going to build a Pro just because they got that moniker now from PlayStation 4 Pro, so they probably will continue that line into the future. I do see that becoming a possibility. I don't think they were going to have boost mode in the PlayStation 5's original design. I think it was just going to be the 9.2 teraflops or whatever, but then they added it, more last moment or something. I don't know, because the PlayStation 5 just feels more half baked to me than the Xbox Series X does. I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that way. I mean, the PlayStation 5 is doing pretty good, holding its own when it comes to they say any headphone, not my Xbox headphones. They don't work with my PlayStation 5. It says it doesn't recognize the Bluetooth. I've tried hooking them up a couple of times. It says it doesn't have Bluetooth for headsets. It has Bluetooth for the controller, but it doesn't have Bluetooth. I don't get that. It's probably because they're Microsoft headphones and they're trying to lock me out of being able to use them on the PlayStation. That's what it feels like to me. They want me to buy their little thing. Yeah, they are. I'm definitely a little irritated that that Watch Dogs Legion, has screen tearing on the Xbox Series X version and it doesn't have it on the PlayStation 5. But I've been swapping back between them, and it almost seems like the PlayStation 5 version has less NPCs, and like the draw distance might not be as far. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that that there's somebody out there doing some kind of analysis. I want to get those tools to actually do analysis to like count the pixels and stuff like that, and do the frame rate graphs and stuff like that. Eventually, I just got to watch what I'm investing in this YouTube channel because I want to be able to still buy my games. Hey, at least I can write them all off my taxes now, right? So that'll be a good thing. So does anybody think I'm still hard on PlayStation for no good reason? Right now I've been playing, I got that Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 that I'm working on a review for. I'm waiting for a patch for it now. because it doesn't. I don't have the full version of it, so I'm waiting for a patch before I finish that review. I've been playing Watch Dogs Legion on the PlayStation. I've been jumping back between Demon Souls and um, just playing some of the other games that I already bought on Xbox because I bought some more games so that I could be a little more fair in my review when it comes to PlayStation 5. Next week I'll be playing Ratchet and Clank and Final Fantasy 7. I think those two are probably gonna kill my whole week next week because I'll be playing both of those. And then the weekend we'll find out what's going on and hopefully we get some more games launching. How long did it take you to get through that, Pat? I think I was I'm pretty sure it was under 14 hours, but I'm going to be that's another thing I'm going to be upset about. If Ratchet and Clank only takes me like 14 hours to beat this freaking game and I paid $70 for it, I'm going to be a little upset. I mean, cuz I feel like I beat that Ratchet and Clank in like 8 to 10 hours. That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking I was being nice and generous and saying 14 hours or whatever, but yeah, when I beat that I was playing in front of the kids and like I swear we only sat there for, a few hours at a time, but I feel like it was pretty quick. Watch Dogs Legion Jet is pretty good. It actually turned out better than I expected because you can basically recruit any NPC in the game to be on your team, and you can play that person if you want. There's plenty of stuff to do in there. Every single. Oh yeah, I didn't do a lot of the side stuff on. I don't. I was playing it for the kids. I don't really go out of my way to do much on those. The only ones that I really go out of my way to do like side stuff is every time we get a new Mario game, Junior wants me to play it first. So I'm like, okay, I'll play it. And he watches me play it. And then he wants to play it. Yeah, I don't really do the side stuff. Watch Dogs Legion is actually, I really liked 1 and 2, but I really like 3 too. But the fact that you don't really get to, the fact that you don't really have like a main protagonist, throughout the whole game, kind of, I thought it was going to feel generic and cheap, but it turns out like these people actually have, personality and stuff. So it turned out pretty good. I think it might still be on sale on the PlayStation Store for $20 right now. That is a steal for that game, especially now that it has 60 frames per second. It's definitely, I think it's worth playing. I mean, I like it. Now that it's got 60 frames per second, I still, I mean, for $20, man, it's an Ubisoft game. Now it's been out for almost 6 months. So, yeah. Has it been out for 6 months? Yeah, no, it came out in October. So 7 months, almost. Yeah, I don't think you'll go wrong with it. I think you'll be all right. If you like Ubisoft games and their open world structure and stuff like that, yeah. I do play some JRPGs. I haven't really a lot lately since I used to play them a lot on the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, like Arc the Lad and just some of those older games like gosh, what was it? Xenogears or oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time remembering that. The hack series. I think that's what they were called. Yeah, I haven't really played a lot lately, but I'm trying to get back into them. I can only play video games really on the weekends, and because my job is kind of Xenogears. Yeah, that's the one. I used to play a lot of that stuff back in the early 2000s, in the late 90s and stuff. Because back then most everything was, a lot of the games were more Japanese, JRPG and stuff like that. I really like Shenmue. I'm playing right now. I'm doing a playthrough through Yakuza 7. I really like that. I kind of like the turn based in that. I bought Judgment the other day. And I'm going to probably do that Dragon Quest. Just download it on Game Pass and play that. Yeah, that Yakuza 7 is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm really happy with that. Especially in the 1440p 60. I mean, it looks so good. And then Judgment is 1440p 60 frames a second too. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into the JRPG stuff. I really am. I stopped playing it um when I started getting more into I just don't remember a lot of it last generation on the PlayStation 3 generation. Um, I went through like a little stint where I wasn't really playing video games that much. Yeah, they really feel like they're pretty few and far between. I never played Persona. I might actually download that Persona 5 and play that. See what that one's all about, because I hear that's like the highest rated game over God of War. So maybe I should give it a shot. That's probably the one and only game I don't own on the PlayStation 4. That is the GOAT. Okay, I will definitely play that then. Because I have not even looked into it, but I think I will play that one. Is that Persona 5 on that the PlayStation 5 or the PlayStation games at home or whatever? the Persona 5? Okay, yeah, I'll definitely download that and play some. Let me turn my PlayStation on. What's up, Game Punisher? How you doing, man? Oh yeah, man. I definitely, all the feedback I get, I definitely do take that to heart, and I try to incorporate that. I mean, like right now, I'm basically running on like a kind of like a tight setup, so I don't really have. I am trying to think of things, but I've been forcing myself to do one video a day, so I kind of sometimes like I'll put out videos that I just tried to come up with, but I'm really trying to move away from that and get more into like quality video or quality content, and not because I don't want to be another clickbait guy. I really don't want to be a clickbaiter. So yeah, I feel like the videos that are kind of like a little off are the ones that I'm forcing myself to make. If that makes sense, Game Punisher. Oh yeah, I hope so. I'm trying, and I think that I don't want my channel to suffer because I'm forcing myself to make daily videos. Though I want to be able to make quality content. I really do. Um, I'm hoping that the rest of this year we'll have enough games and stuff to make content, because a lot of the channels that I used to follow and watch a lot, they've all like started going into like just like stupid stuff, like complaining about everything, and I don't know, talking to pickles and chickens and stuff. I don't know. So, yeah, not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to, say what I've seen. Dude. Every time I turn the PlayStation on before turning my TV on, I have to, I have to reboot my TV so that the PlayStation will. Just want to get that downloading. Yeah, I have to reboot my TV every time I turn the PlayStation on before turning the TV on. It's weird. My Xbox don't do that. So, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this chat tonight. I'm gonna download this game and start playing it, and then maybe I'll make a video on Persona 5. Maybe I don't know, talk about how my experience was with it. So you guys have a good night, man. I appreciate everybody that came. If you're here and you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit that like button. You guys definitely have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one.